quite long here, so they do have to do soft and rage on the last platform.
This is it.
Oh?
全部くれマジでもなんだけ全部くれやばすぎるマクロナイス
マクロ
最強すぎる。
マクロコスモス
Welcome everybody to Mog Talk. If you guys are unfamiliar with Mog Talk, it is a show based around the Final Fantasy XIV community and anything else that's very interesting for us to talk about. Today we're having a very interesting show, something I'm very passionate about, and it's the World Race. So we're bringing on the very first team that has cleared a Savage fight for the first time live in front of everybody. Lucrezia, one of my favorite teams. I am a Lucrezia fanboy. I have a lot of bias to it. I don't let that take control of anything, but I want people to know I am very biased when it comes to Lucrezia. But yeah, I wanted to have a wonderful conversation after the race finished, and we had a little bit of time to rest. Most of us had a little bit of time to rest, and we could talk about the race and how everyone's feeling. But before we get started, I want to make sure I introduce our translator as well. Chiela, could you tell everybody who you are?
Yeah, sure thing. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm Chiela. I have been helping to translate for a few different things with Frosty with regards to the World Race, and I'm a raider and streamer myself, so nice to meet everybody.
Yeah,
Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
And it's without Chiela, the show wouldn't happen. Very last minute, Chiela was okay to help translate. So please, everybody in chat, give lots of energy, claps, everything to Chiela because she's making this possible.
Thanks, Frosty. Thanks, everybody.
Of course. All right. So that being said, I would like the team as well to introduce themselves. And so if they wouldn't mind just kind of going kind of in order here too. And I guess, Chiela, do you want to translate that? And then I'll just call them one by one.
Yeah. Do you want me to translate everything you said or just the introduction part?
Just the introduction is fine. Yeah.
Okay. じゃあ、これから始めましょう。皆さん、自己紹介とチーム内で役割を教えてください。
はいはいはい。
Okay. Arc.
はい。今回はバイパーでレイドレース参加させていただきましたアークです。よろしくお願いします。
So Ark is the Viper on the World Race team, and he says, "Nice to meet everybody."
Nice to meet you too. Although I've talked to you very many times. Ila?
はい、こんにちは。ルクレのリーダーやってます。よろしくお願いします。
Yuya is Lucrezia's leader, and again, glad to be here.
Whiteboard man.
はい、ホワイトボードマンです。今回はサポーターとしてホワイトボードでお絵描きをしてました。よろしくお願いします。
So he's whiteboard man. It's funny.
Oh, okay.
And this time he participated in the race as a support, or in English as we say, ninth man.
Okay. Kenrika.
はい、金年高橋というキャラでやってました。学者をプレイしてました。よろしくお願いします。
So Keen-Nenka was playing as Scholar this time around in the World Race.
Okay. Oni?
はい。今回忍者でやらせてもらいました。鬼岸焼です。よろしくお願いします。
Yeah, Onigishi was playing as the ninja in the World Race.
Okay. Roro?
Frosty. Been a while. ロロミオです。タンクロールをやっています。
よろしくお願いします。
Noromio was playing as tank. I think Omni tank.
Okay. Okay. Ruka?
はい。今回 ST サブタンクで、ナイトやってましたルカハルです。お願いします。
Ruka was playing as off tank and was playing paladin.
Okay. Paladin number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Whip.
はい。今回は先生術師でやらさせていただきました。リンプです。よろしくお願いします。
Wimp was playing as もう一回すいません。
先生術師です。アストロゲイザー。
Astrologian.
Astrologian.
In the world race.
So hard.
Yeah.
I play Sage very easy.
そのジョブ難しい。フロッシーさん、まあ普通にまあやってない。
はいはい。
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I just want to make sure everybody knew who was who and who was talking in reference to everything. And it really means a lot. And I'm not lying when I say Lucrezia is a team that has made me very happy. And I'm very happy that you guys were able to get the world first this time as well.
はい、まあ、ルクレイジアは、チームとして、本当に、フロッシーさん、にとって、喜んでて、今回、ワールドファースト、クリアができて、本当に良かったです。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
I'm number 1 fan. Remember that.
覚えてください。
Okay. So now that the race is over, I do want to just ask, after finally achieving the world first again, as well as doing it, of course, live on stream, how are you feeling from that?
はい、再び、ワールドファーストクリアを達成し、それを配信で、行った気持ちはどうですか？
最高やね。いや、多分みんな思ってると思うけど、ワールドファースト取れたこともやし、フロスティに、配信上でのワールドファーストをやっと届けれたことに、すごいね。みんな喜んでる。
Everyone's feeling really happy, of course, because not only did they get the world first, but they also were able to do it on stream. And Nodomio's like sure that you also feel that same way across as the host of the world race.
Absolutely. Mostly because it helps get rid of the stigma that you have to be online or offline to do a world first accomplishment. Proving that you could do it online now in Savage 2 is a huge step. The next step is Ultimate.
はい。フロッシーもとても嬉しいです。なぜなら、ワールドファーストを取るために、配信をしない方がいいという経験を、打話してくれたからです。また、まあ、これからZ2も、チャレンジしたいんですけど。
はいはいはいはい。取れたらいいんやけどな。
そうですね。If they were able to get Ultimate as well, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay, so I when I see a lot of teams racing, I feel like Lucrezia is extremely interesting in the way that they do fights. And I'd like to know, before they go into a fight, is there anything in particular that they do to prepare that they think might be maybe unique or different than other teams? Of course, if it gives away something and they don't want to say it, it's okay. But I'd be interested if there's anything they could say about it.
Okay. たくさんのチームが競争しているのを見ると、ルクレイジアの、戦闘のやり方はとても 興味を惹かれます。他のチームと比べて、レースに向けて特別に準備したことはありますか？もし言うと秘密ということがありましたら全然言わなくても大丈夫だけど。
まあでも練習とかでも結構話してるから。
まあ普段から配信してるからね、全部。
そうやね。
秘密はないかな。
うん。
そう、普段から何か既存の過去の高難易度コンテンツを条件をつけて何々をしてはいけないとか条件をつけて縛ってプレイをしたり、まあ、普通に装備のアイテムレベルを下げてプレイしたりとかで、まあ、とにかく練習時間を多く取ったことが要因やとはみんな多分思ってますね。
Okay. Yeah, so because they're streaming everything, they don't really like keep any secrets or anything like that. Like they keep things out in the open, but basically like they are doing lots of practice. They are first kind of taking a look at all existing content and like mechanics and stuff like that, and really like thinking about what could potentially go into these fights. And then they're also doing a lot of minimum eye level work as well, where they'll go into raids and practice just like doing mechanics at like more difficult levels over and over again.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm going to go off script a couple of questions, Che.
No, that's totally fine. Yeah, for those I might just take notes and then translate, so just give me like slightly longer, but it's totally fine. Feel free to go off script.
No, okay. So to kind of respond to that too, so they went and did min eye level. Did they do anything in particular with the normal mode for the week that they had access to it, that they feel that they gained an advantage from just learning something from it, that they maybe figured out a mechanic for that actually was applied in Savage?
まあ、練習について、いろんなコンテンツをやったけど、ちょっとノーマルモードで、何が特別なことをして、例えば、ギミックの解明など、有利になったことはありましたか？
どうやろうな。3層は特にノーマルの練習が生きた感じはあったかな。どうやろみんな。
タイムラインがすごいノーマルと似てたり、あと頭割りのあと3回みたいなのもノーマルにもちゃんと、似たようなギミックがあったりして、
そうですね。
3層はめっちゃすごいノーマルと似ててやりやすかった。
エンゲージを見たまでがすごいね、早くて、3層は。あれで他と差がついた気がしますね。
Okay. So basically, like in particular for normal, the third fight was so similar to the Savage that like they were really able to get a lot out of having practiced the normal mode. Both from like a mechanic perspective and also from a timeline perspective. So in particular, like the third fight was really good for that compared to the other ones.
Okay. And I have a question about that, but I'll come to it later when we start talking about the fights a little bit more. But I kind of want to take a second to talk about the jobs and, a lot of decisions that they made with it. In particular, the most noticeable thing is their, I guess, methodology in bringing a double red mage, going and learning the fight, and then switching back to their normal roles and just crushing the fight after they learn it. That feels very powerful. And do they feel like maybe it's too powerful and maybe Square Enix should change something?
Okay. I will try that. So, ジョブ の、選択肢について、戦闘を学んでいる段階で、蘇生のために、赤間同士を、2人採用し、その後に、他のジョブへ切り替えるという戦略を使っていたのを見ました。この戦略は進行において強すぎると思いますか？また、それはスクエア・エニックスが調整すべき点だと考えますか？
ああ、なるほど。強すぎる、確かに強いとは思いますね。うん。
It's definitely strong. Yes.
Okay.
火力がいらない点で、火力がいらない状態で進めることに関しては、もう赤2人いると、蘇生をかなり回してくれるので、もうヒールに専念できたり、ギミックに専念して、進むことができるので、やっぱり特に強いかなとは思います。
そうね。赤2人強すぎるし、なんなら赤1人の時点でも相当強いから、ちょっと調整した方がいいんじゃないかなとは正直思ってます。
Okay, so yeah, basically they're saying like, of course, the reason why I think you can figure why they did it
yes.
is that it helps the healers with raising, and so that made it a lot easier for them to continue going through mechanics and moving a bit further. And yeah, they definitely feel like it's quite strong, like maybe potentially too strong, and it might be better if there's some type of adjustment made on Square's part.
Maybe Square Enix should make it to where nerf Red Mage Resin and maybe change it to where I don't know, they could only do one or they could something. What would their suggestion be on fixing that?
スクエア・エニックスが、ちょっと赤間同士のレイズ、調整すれば、どうですか？例えば、その、ファイトの中で、1回だけやれるとか。
いやー、それはどうかな。
MP5000。
消費 MP を増やす。いや、どうやろな。多分俺らはもう、スクエアエニックスから与えられたもので戦うみたいな感じなんで、どうなろうともって感じですけどね。
Okay, so they're basically saying like maybe not once per fight, but like the amount of MP that it costs could go up like to 5,000, for instance, something like that. But yeah, they're kind of like, maybe it should be changed a little bit.
Okay. So going into it, going with other job decisions that they made, do they have just like any opinions on some of the jobs that they brought in? Like they feel like some jobs are too powerful, some jobs maybe too weak. You know, I guess I'm combining a couple of questions here too, by the way. And maybe if there's some jobs they wanted to bring but they couldn't bring.
Okay. 編成に関して、何か、意見や考えはありましたか？例えば、このジョブが欲しかったけど、結局弱すぎるから、抜きましたとか、その考えがありましたか？
特に今回は、そういうのはなかったんじゃない？
結構完璧なジョブ選択だったと思うな。
Yeah, so this time they didn't really feel like they had any jobs that like they wanted to bring, but they were too undertuned, or like they actually felt like their sort of chosen jobs were kind of perfect for this. Actually.
Okay. Is there any job that even if they wanted to play it, they wouldn't bring right now? Like it's too. Do they think any of the jobs are too weak at the moment?
今のところ、ジョブについて、弱すぎるジョブがありますか？例えば、飛行士とか。
言っちゃホワイトメイジ。
ホワイト
White Mage.
Okay.
召喚
今
師
回は、
ホワイトメイジ、召喚師、気候師。
飛行士。
Summoner, Machinist, White Mage are the main answers.
Oh no. Okay.
Sorry, everyone who likes these jobs.
Wait, it was Summoner, White Mage, and what else? Machinist?
And Machinist, yeah. Of course.
Those are like classic Final Fantasy jobs, you know? Maybe.
クラシックなファイナルファンタジー勝負なのに。
Please, Square Enix, you know, Yoshida, there's other jobs besides Black Mage too, you know, and
吉田さん、他のジョブが、存在していますから、そこも、注目してください。
既存のジョブね。
Oh, okay. Okay, do they have any thoughts or anything else they would want to share what they think about the current state of jobs in the game or anything that they would like to see change outside of what we talked about?
はい、今の、ジョブ状態について何か他の意見がありますか？
難しいな。
採用されないジョブがあるのは、ちょっと悲しいことやとは思うんですけど、まあ、その中で最良の選択をするのも、なんというか、楽しみ方じゃないけど、なんというかね、プレイヤースキルのうちになるんじゃないかなっていう考えはありますね。
So, Romeo is just saying that, like, the way that they're thinking about it is, like, of course, there are some jobs that they would rather not use, that we just discussed. But also, when they're thinking about it, it's not just about, like, how much you're going to enjoy the job. It's also about, like, player skill within that job, like, for their team composition. So they're also thinking about that when they're choosing, like, what is their team better at, and, like, how is that going to affect the play? Like, you know, how quickly can they pick up their rotation in a fight, stuff like that.
Smart answer.
いい答えです。
Okay. Well, let's jump in a little bit about just the race itself. I mean, there is a lot of moments throughout it. Unfortunately, just a small note, a lot of times during the race, I'm focusing on the event and making sure the event's good, and I don't get to watch the race as much. I just see little tidbits here and there. But I do have a handful of questions about their experience. You can translate that, then I'll start asking the questions.
Okay. はい、レース中、フロスティさんは、レース集中、まあ、レースの、配信集中していて、あんまり見ることができません。でも、レースに関して、いろんな質問があって、まあ、見える時について、これから、そこに。
はい。
Okay.
Were there any moments in the race where one of the players on the team did something absolutely amazing, like a highlight or something, and they're like, oh my god, you know, any kind of moment like that, because maybe they had a quick reaction and they saved a pool, or was there anything that stuck with them after the race like that?
はい、レース中に、プレイヤーの、見頃となるような瞬間はありましたか？例えば、誰か、素早い、反応で、ワイプを、防いだなどとか。
そうやな。
強いて言うなら、クリア界の最後のマクロコスモスでしょ。
いや、本当にそう。
マクロコスモスはそう。
Oh, okay. So when they cleared the very last macrocosmos, saved them, and that was the big moment for them.
Yeah, chat already knew the answer.
Yeah, I think I missed it too. I didn't get to see it myself.
So good. So Astro, that was a very good job, I guess.
アシュロは本当にいい人。
最強やね。
The best, the best.
Okay. When you guys were racing, was there any... Oh, sorry, my Jet put a video in here to show Macrocosmo for us.
映ってるわ。
I wish there was sound. I can't hear it though. I can only show the video on there, but it's okay. My favorite part about your clear, by the way, is all the little Discord icons popping up and down.
フロスティさんの一番好きなのは、そのディスコードのアイコンが、急に、現れて、いろんな、アイコンがあるから、本当に面白いと思う。
It was pretty good. Okay. So when you're streaming, I guess a lot of players, the biggest concern is that some people are watching your stream, maybe you're watching their stream and things like that. Did your team have anyone paying attention to other teams to maybe see if they were doing anything that could help you guys with Prague, or were you guys narrowed in and only focused on your team during the Prague?
他のチームのギミック処理を見たり、意識したりしていましたか？ルクレイジアだけに集中しましたか？
だけじゃない？
今回は、よそのチームの攻略とかは一切見てないです。
So this time they weren't looking at any other teams. They were only focused on their own stuff.
Okay.
Wow.
I did see Whiteboard Man look at the World Race stream though.
ホワイトボードマンは、レイドレース配信見たことがありましたけど。
そうですね。
見てたけど採用しなかった。
処理法は採用してないです。ギミック、メカニズムを解析するのに利用はしましたけど、処理法は使ってないって感じですね。
わかりました。Okay, so they did like look a bit, but they did not adopt any like strategies from other teams.
Just a side note on that. There was one moment where the people who were doing the World Race stream looked at the stream and saw the stream on his stream, like stream inception. I don't know how to translate that well into better words, but maybe you could. Did he notice that we were looking at his stream while he was looking at our stream?
Okay. Let me just 1 second think about how to say that. Okay. モグトークが、ホワイトボードマンを見ていて、レースの間に、ちょうど、彼もモグトークを見ていた、瞬間がありましたけど、気づいたか？
そうですね。なんか、DM でお前映ってるぞって言われて、ちょっと気になってちょっと見に行きましたね。
Oh, okay. So he got a DM saying that like he's being shown on MogTalk, and then he saw that and like, yeah, he thought it was pretty funny.
Next time, wave.
今度そうヘロ言ってください。
今度配信することがあれば、はい。
Next time if he streams, he will.
Okay. So I guess going back kind of to the race and everything here, was there like a lot of racing? There might be a lot of nerves and people are stressed out and then maybe they lose focus. Did they have any plans or strategy to make sure everyone stayed focused and their head was in the game and they didn't like get distracted or get nervous and just kind of fall off?
レース中、ちょっとストレスとか、が、たまりやすいから、全員を、冷静かつ、集中させるための、戦略がありましたか？
休憩を定期的に取ってたぐらいか？
まあ、休憩と、なんというか、砕けた空気になりそうやったら、そこのダークウィズユーヤが入ってきて、一言言ってたりしてたんで、大丈夫でしたね。
So they kind of had like two main ways that they did it. First, they took breaks when they needed to, like taking breaks. They felt like it was really important for keeping focus and keeping calm. And then also, like, if somebody in particular, like they had the plan, if somebody in particular was like getting upset or stressed out about anything, to bring Yuya in and have him like kind of help mediate a little bit and just kind of like calm them down. And but like that, it was kind of like okay anyway. So.
I feel like we've had this question and answer in the last one. I can't remember, but I followed it up with a joke, and I feel like the joke was, does you come in and give a massage and try? how does you like calm them down?
Okay, yeah, let me, yeah. フロスティさんはおそらく、以前の目的で、同じような質問があって、ゆうやさんも、来ると、ちょっと、まあ、落ち着いてみたいな、形。でも、まあ、その時、冗談があって、マッサージとかやりましたか？どうやって、落ち着く？
落ち着くっていうよりはなんか、なんだろうな。ちょっとなんか、真剣味が足りなくなった時とかに、まあ、多分入るとピリッとするっていうか、自分が行くと、まあ、ひりつく感じになるから、緊張感持ってやれるかなと思って行く時はある。
Okay, so it's less about calming down and just like kind of having a talk with them about like their performance and like seeing what's going on and asking like are they okay and stuff like that and sort of like having that conversation. It's less like calming.
Okay, that's very wholesome.
本当にいいことです。
Okay. When I talked to you before the show, I asked if you were tired. You're like, no, we're okay. Even after the race, we wanted to go for more. How do you stay mentally sharp for so long in a race? Myself, I have 3 hours. Afterwards, I'm done. How do you do 17, 18 hours and you're okay?
以前、まあ、さっき、まあ、このインタビューが始める前に、フロスティさんは、みんな大丈夫ですか？疲れたか？聞いたけど、まだ余裕がありましたと返事しました。そのレースの。まあ、フロスティさんは、レードするとき、本当に3時間しかできないから、本当に、まあ、ルクレイジア尊敬して、どうやって、18時間、ずっと、まあ、進行でメンタルを、保つ、ことですか？
みんな
どうやって？
ね、自分、ロロミオは、まあ、30代半ばなんですけど、みんなね、もう若いんですよ。めっちゃ若い。っていうのもあり、あと、長時間練習みたいなのをやってて。あの、休憩時間をこれだけ取るって決めて、いっちゃん最近やってね、なんやったっけ、20時間練習、3時間休憩、7時間練習みたいなを休みの日にやったりとか。18時間練習とかやったりとか、そういう長時間の、サベージの攻略に向けてやとか、アルティメットの攻略に向けてやとか、まあ、休憩時間を決めて練習したりしてましたね。
わかりました。So, quite interesting. So, Noromio is in his 30s, but
Oh.
everyone else is kind of like a bit younger. So he's saying like some of it is age, like having more energy as you're younger.
Okay.
But the other really big thing that Lucrezia does is they actually practice long hours together, like on their days off. So they'll decide to do like a 20-hour straight session with like 30-minute breaks or something like that. Or they'll do like an 18-hour long session with like just a little bit of breaks. And that's really how I think they're building up the kind of reserve to be able to go for so long in the race.
Okay, just building a tolerance, yeah.
Yeah, building a tolerance and energy. And they're just like rating that whole time.
How old do they think I am?
フロスティさんは何歳と思ってますか？
いや、でも、若いんじゃないの？でも。
They think you're young, maybe.
Young?
Isn't he young?
Okay. What number?
まあ、ぴったり何歳？例えば、まあ、35とか。想像できますか？
答えづら。
32.
32? They said it's hard to answer. 32, maybe?
Okay. 38.
38歳。
2個上ですよ、俺の。
So you're two years older.
Oh, yeah?
36.
Oh, okay.
私35.
We can share stories about the 90s.
Yeah, we're all these 90s kids here.
Okay. Did they? I guess I'm going to rephrase one of these questions here. Did they have a plan for going to sleep if they felt like they hit a certain point and they're like, this is all we're going to prog today. We need to go to sleep in order to clear this, or was it full steam ahead the entire time and there was no plan to go to sleep?
レース中、寝ようと考えたことはありましたか？例えば、その前に、予定があったか？例えば、もう制限があるとか。
今回はみんな休みを3日間取ったんやったっけ？一応木曜日までは絶対休みを取るようにしてないやったっけ？
基本はそうだね。
そうやね。だから、
制限とかは特になかったよね。
制限は特になかったですね。
So this time they all took time off, like at least until Thursday, but some people are also taking 3 days, so they didn't really have any limit, and they weren't really planning to like rest or go to sleep or anything like that. They just wanted to keep going.
Okay, so if they were at 30 hours, still go.
30時間でも進む予定ありましたか
？30はさすがにじゃない。
So yeah, at 30 they would probably have at that point like taken a break and gone to sleep for a
みんなどんぐらいやねんやろな。限界稼働時間。
クリアまでどれぐらい見えてるかじゃない。
まあそれはある。
時間切れ見たらもう寝ない、さすがに。
そうやね、みんな。便利上見たら寝れないよね。
Yeah, so basically like it kind of would have depended on how close they were to the clear. Like that would make a difference as whether or not they would just call it and go to sleep. Like if they're super close, like they also feel like they just wouldn't be able to sleep at that point, and they would just want to like keep going. So that's some of it too. Is like just the inability to sleep.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. Well, now that we've talked a little bit about the race, and we did talk a little bit about the fights, but I would like to go a little bit more, I guess, deeper into that topic as well. And just really start off and ask them their opinions overall of the raid tier, and they can answer this however they want, whether it's in the point of view as a race or in the point of view as just a regular player approaching the fights.
Okay. 今回、のレイド、レイ式、の感想は、レースと、個人的に、どっちでも大丈
みんなどう？
いい難易度だった。
うん
難しめの難易度で、やりごたえがあって、ギミックを解いていくのも楽しかったし、DPS チェックもかなり厳しめ。ライトヘビーよりは厳しめで、個人的には楽しかったです。
じゃあ、それを翻訳します。もちろん後で、意見聞きたいけど。Okay, so Luca's opinion was that it's really been a great tier. The mechanics were quite difficult and challenging, and also the DPS check was a lot stricter, tighter this time than it was in the previous raid tier, and so he felt like that was great. And I'll let them answer a bit more.
Sure.
じゃあ、次の、人どうぞ。
これ上から行く？これ。上から行っとくか。
まあ、
違う意見がある人は。
レースって視点で見ると、自分はやっぱり BGM が結構やる気に関わってくるというか、ずっと聴く曲だけど、今回は前走 BGM かなり個人的には好きで、
私も。
ずっと楽しくやれてましたね。
So Ark's feeling was particularly for him, the music was really great. And he really felt like it was giving him a lot of like energy and strength to continue on, and he listened to it the whole time because he liked it so much.
So this is a detail, it's not a question or well, I'd like to let them know. During the event, what we normally do is play all Final Fantasy XIV music during it in the background and just keep it low. But this time, everyone watching the race requested that we play the song of the fight that's being shown on loop the entire time people were progging on it and did not want it to turn off. And the only time we changed from the fight song was for little 10-minute breaks. Every other time, whatever fight we were looking at, that was the background music for the stream.
はい。ちょっと、面白い点だけど、普段、モグトクのレースの BGM は、いろんなファイナルファンタジー、曲だけど、今回、チャットは、レイ式、そのレイドの、BGM が大好きで、ずっと、その BGM だけ、使った。そんなに好きでした。
よかった、今回の、確かに。
よかった。
前走よかったね。
よかった。
4走後半もよかった。
なんか、
そうですね。
アルカディア、今回もっていうか、ライトヘビーもそうだけど、やっぱ前走 BGM 違うのが、
ね、いいよね。
1、2、3、4走全部違うのが、新鮮
そう、ちょっとびっくりした。ソーケンさんは大丈夫？本当に。忙しそうですね。
もう8曲、いや、後半も含めたらもう10曲か、アルカディアだけで。
すごいね。仕事しすぎやね。
ライブが楽しみだね。
そう、私も楽しみ。翻訳します。Yeah, so basically like they were just all agreeing that all the music was great, and like also the second part of the fourth floor was really good too. They just loved it all, and then we were just I was just saying like, oh, I hope Soken's okay because it's like a lot of music for him to put out, and we were all agreeing that we were looking forward to the live concert that's happening here in Japan in like July or August or something like that.
Very jealous.
It's going to be amazing. Yeah.
Very jealous. Yeah, when I also very many times during the stream, by the way, I asked chat, I was like, hey, are you guys ready for me to stop? And they said, no, exclamation, 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 every time.
Wow. いつも、フロスティさんは、別の、曲に変更しようかと、聞いて、チャットの返事は、嫌だ、同じ、この程度の曲だけ、そう、これがいい、と、返事しました。
Yeah, one of these days I will go to Japan for one of these events. I hope so.
You have to, yeah.
I would love to. And if I do go to Japan, someone from Lucrezia needs to meet me and have a beer.
まあ、最初に言うと、フロスティさんは、ライブに行くのは羨ましい。けど、いつか、まあ、日本に、まあ、行く、ちょっと予定をしたくて、その時、ルクレジアと一緒に、ビールに飲み会に行きたいんです。
ぜひ。
They said, of course.
Okay.
Let's go together.
Okay, good. All right, enough about beer. Let me talk about the fights again, too. Out of the 4 different fights that we had, did they have a favorite fight?
まあ、この、レシピの中で、一番好き、だったのは、どれでしたか
理想かな。
俺は一層好きやな。やっぱり。
The first floor.
Oh, yeah? Dance!
Yes.
So good. Well, okay. What was it about the first floor that they liked so much?
一層が一番好きだったのは何でしたか
なんていうか、もうコンセプトから好きですね、ダンスの。
Loromia liked the concept of it, that it's like a dance fight.
Okay. Is that the same for everybody?
全員同じ意見がありますか別のは好きでしたか
僕は2層が結構好きですね、あれ。
And the second floor as well.
そうですね。あれ、あんなにたくさんザゴが出てくるのって他になかったかなって思ってて。
開口4層、起動2層以来かな。
あ、そうか。まあ、それぐらいはあるか、確かに。
Yeah, so the second floor was another big hit. Having that kind of like big ads phase and like having to move around so much as well, like as you have to on the 6th floor. They really enjoyed that as well. They felt like it was quite unique.
Did the lava scare them?
その、溶岩が怖かったか
No. Only me.
まあ、フロスティだけみたい。
Okay. I guess, I do want to ask about also the 4 fight, and there's always the question, door boss or no door boss? Were they expecting there to be no door boss, and are they happy there was no door boss?
日本語でなんていうのドア
前半後半かな。
前半後半。その、後半、のフェーズがあると、想像しましたか今回ないか
チェックポイント。
そう、チェックポイントがあるはずでしたか
チェックポイン
ト。前半が DPS チェックがあったから、後半入った時にチェックポイントがなかったのは結構衝撃だったかも。
So, yeah, they were expecting there was going to be like some type of checkpoint, originally. And yeah, then they started to kind of realize that there wasn't going to be one.
Did they cry when they realized there was no checkpoint?
チェックポイントがなかったとき、泣きましたか
マジとはみんな言ってない。
まあ、
暗転中に 反転中に
BGM が
前半の
戻ったからね。
BGM
そう、
が聞こえてきて。
えってなってたよな。
So they were a bit surprised, but like they were fine with it, like how it
Okay.
is. Like I don't. They also liked both of the music for both phases,
Oh,
so I
okay.
think they were happy to go between them because of that.
It's good. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. During this, out of all the fights, what was the most challenging mechanic that they feel like they faced?
ギミックの中で一番難しかったのは何でしたか？
セントリじゃね？後半の。
4
なんだっけあれ。
なんて名前やね。
なんて言うんだろうあれ。
すいません、私、まだ、
はいはいはい。にそうやってはりましたよね。
後半。So there's a mechanic in the first part of phase 4, or sorry, the fourth fight, that they said was difficult, but I haven't gotten to
okay,
yet,
okay.
so I don't know what it is.
That's okay. Chiela, not everybody world race.
Yeah, I've been hardcore progging myself, and so I didn't get to watch the 8th floor prog.
Okay, can they describe the mechanic?
ちょっと説明しても大丈夫ですか？そのギミック。
はいはいはい、大丈夫です。線を取った人に、なんというか、円形の広がる AOE が出るんですけど、それを、端っこから順番に置いていって、かつ、一番ボスに近い人に、シェアダメージが来るっていうギミックで。
Okay, so it's the one where there's like a I think I've seen this guy. I did watch a little bit of it. It's the one where there's like a big circle in the middle of the room, and then they kind of have to spread out, and the closest players share damage together, and I think it's quite a fast mechanic.
Okay. And that was the most challenging one for them, I think, out of all the fights.
それが一番難しかったと思いましたか？
個人的には。
Wolf Rampant.
Wolf Rampant. Yeah. Rampart. Yeah.
That's what chat's saying.
You know, everyone always says, here's one mechanic, and then they use the same name for every single fight, and they never use the real name for it. Lion
like
Rampart. Light Rampart.
Wolf Rampant.
Chariot. These are all like English names, so it doesn't probably translate as well. Does Japan players experience that too, or they just use the name of an old mechanic, and even though it's not named that, they just call it the same thing?
日本のプレイヤーたちは、昔のギミックの名前は、今のギミック、の説明ために、使っていますか？
ダイナモチャリオットとかね。
それ使っていますか？
いや、ルクレジアのチームの決め事として、ギミックの名前ではコールせずに、ちゃんと、アンチを言うとか、ダイナモとかじゃなくて、中アンチ、チャリオット
そうですね。
を使うっていう決め事をしますね。で、コミュニティ的には、使ってる人はいっぱいいます。
Okay. So for Lucrezia, they don't necessarily would say like Dynamo Chariot. They would rather call like in out kind of thing.
Okay. Simple.
But for the rest of the community, they often will like actually use like Dynamo Chariot or like other things to describe those types of mechanics. So yeah, it does happen a lot in the Japanese.
Okay. We're all the same.
Yeah, we are. 世界中みんな同じですね。
パラダイスリゲインドあったからね、4層後半。あと、2層のジャバウォックとか、
そう、ジャバウォック難しい。
ドレッドナイト、ツインタニアのところのドレッドナイトやからやってくるの。
懐かしかったね、あれ。
あれ懐かしかった。
Yeah, so then they were saying that the Jabberwock from M6, which thankfully I actually have done that, so I can talk about it.
Yeah.
So that was quite difficult, the DPS check on that. And also I think the brambles from Twintania, like the like similar brambles from Twintania, that was also one that was like a bit kind of stuck out to them and a bit nostalgic.
Yeah. Okay. Twintania is, I mean, so long ago. Back then, Lucrezia was a big name for the raids back then too, right?
Yeah. 本当にツインタニアは懐かしい、という気持ちが出ていて、その時でも、ルクレジアは本当に、レースのコミュニティの中で有名な名前でしたね。
Like Bahamut.
Bahamut.
Yeah.
Bahamut leader.
Okay. So, I don't know if they were going to say anything else. If they were, I can wait. Sorry.
他の、その難しかったギミックについて何か言いたい。
なんかあるかに4
地下一戦統一戦じゃないか ?4 素後半の。地下一戦日本、統一戦日本のやつも結構大変だったと思う。
青色の線と緑の線の。
そう。
あれなんて説明したらいいんやろな。
すいません。まだやってない。
4層後半。
地下一戦、統一戦のルールを守りながら、塔を踏むっていうやつ。
なんかね。
再生2層ですね、大体。
まあ、そうね。
再生2層って言って伝わるんか。
離別の鎖ね。
離別の鎖やねんけど。難しい。
英語名わかんないな、あれ。
英語名わかんないんだよな。
Well, they're basically saying that there's like a few more mechanics in Phase 4 that were, or sorry, M8 that were difficult for them.
A T69.
ボスの名前で言ったらわかるんじゃない影の方だっけ
影の
方や。
あれ
like the Shadow?
Shadow King?
シャドーキング。
そのまんまやけど。あとは、あれじゃない、普通に2層の雑魚倒す順番とか結構、あれじゃなかった。試行錯誤しなかった。
確かに。
So then, 理想のタワー？
いや、雑魚フェーズ。
2層の、雑魚を倒す順番かな。
Okay. So the order for killing the ads in M6 as well was quite challenging. Like how to actually accomplish that.
Yeah. After the first tier, like the second fight went so quick after the first fight. I was very happy that was a challenge that made that second fight go longer.
以前の、レードレース、日走がすごい早かった。けど、今回、日走がもうちょっと時間がかかってよかったと言われ
ます。確かに今回のは結構やってるって言ってニュアンスが伝わるんかわからんけど、
難しく作られてるね。
と思いますね。
Yeah, so basically this time, they felt like there's definitely a lot more nuance in how to clear the second floor, and it was definitely like they made it to be much harder than the previous second.
It had a little bit better of a ramp and not like down and up, right?
Like in terms of difficulty?
Yeah, difficulty, like it went a little bit more like upwards instead of going really high, low, and back up, which I think the first Savage tier did.
今回、イーストから、その難しさの、レベルが、本当に、スムーズに、進んでいる。例えば、1層は、この難しさ、2層は この難しさと。
はいはいはいはいはいはい。
そうそうそう。本当にスムーズに
うんうん。
進んだみたい。今回。以前その難しさが、のレベルが全然違って、
はいはいはいはい。
そうそう。今回の方がいい。
なんていうか、前までは1層も2層も、なんていうか、同じような簡単さで、もう、スッとクリアできてたけど、今回はちゃんと段階的に難しくなっていってるみたいな、そういう感じだね。
そうそうそう。
そうやと思いますね。うん。
そう、ロロミオ。
うん。
どうぞすいません。
大丈夫です。
Yeah, Lilomio was just saying that, yeah, last time it felt like the first two floors were kind of the same in difficulty, but this time the ramp up has been, like, as you said, kind of like each floor has been kind of like slowly more difficult, and that is good. Yeah.
It's good. Okay. All right. Well, there's a couple other things, like topics for me to talk about, but is there anything in particular about the fights they wanted to talk about really quick that's just on their mind, or do they feel like they're good with how much they talked about on the fights?
今回の、レイドについて他の、言いたいことがありますか？難しいギミック、だけじゃなくて、他の意見とか、言いたいことがあります。
いや、自分は不満はないですね。なんていうか、ナイスデザインな層が多かったと思いますね。
Romeo feels like the design overall was really nice.
Okay, good. Square Enix, you're doing a good job. Keep going. But okay. So with that, I will say the streaming was a huge thing for their group. It was such a phenomenal thing to again see them win. But did their team have any kind of concerns about someone going and seeing their stream and then they would fall behind in the race or anything, or were they fairly confident that it wasn't a detriment at all to the group? I mean, right now it feels like there's proof there was no detriment to them, but did they have concerns while they were racing?
はい、レースの間に、配信、していたことで、レースに遅れを取る不安もありましたか？例えば、他のチームは、ルクレの配信を見て、その、戦略とか、買って、奪って勝つとか、その不安がありましたか？
あるけど、
ないと言ったら嘘になるけど。
あるけど、しょうがない。
配信はするものだから。
走るだけだよね。もう突っ走るだけ。
真似されても、
どうぞ。
OK。真似されても、追いつかれないぐらいのスピードで攻略していくっていうのがもうコンセプトでやってるから、あまり気にしてないかもしれない、そこは。
So, they can't say that, like, they weren't worried about it, obviously. Like, that would be a lie to say they weren't. But they felt like what they had to do was go as quickly as they could and, do their best to come up with strategies very fast and basically just, do everything they can to beat the competition. And, like, they felt that it's just a natural part of streaming it live, like that people are going to be able to see it and they might take stuff from it. But yeah, for them, it's just about like the execution. And Yuya personally like felt that if they executed well, they didn't have anything to worry about.
Yep, I agree. It's really when you're racing, the concept is, well, if you don't want to lose while streaming, just don't mess up. and just do all the mechanics and execute it, come up with your strategy. Someone can take it, but it doesn't matter because you're ahead and you just keep being ahead, right? You don't get blocked by anything.
Yeah. So, Frosty の考えは、レース中、負けたくないなら、ギミックをちゃんと、処理、した方がいい。本当に、まあ、それだけですね。と、考えてます。
Okay. The other thing, this is new with streaming, and we've seen ideas and concepts of this, and I'm going to rephrase this a little bit, by the way. But the Knife Man stream, whose idea was that, and what were they hoping to kind of show off with the Knife Man stream?
Okay. ホワイトボードマンが、配信、した、について、誰の、アイディアでしたか？また、まあ、どの希望がありましたか？その配信。
アイデアに関しては、僕のアイデアです。
本人。
で、本人のアイデアで、配信するのも、まあ、前日の夜、急に決めました。なんか、した方が面白いんじゃないかなっていう思いつきで始めたんで、まあ、機材とかが何もなくて、おフルの iPhone を使って、それをカメラ代わりにして、で、家にある家具を適当に積み上げて、高さを稼いで、そこでカメラを置いてみたいな感じで、本当に急増の環境でやってましたね。
Okay, so it was actually Whiteboard Man's idea to do it, and he came up with it the night before, actually, and didn't have any equipment or anything like that. Yeah, except the cell phone. So he just like quickly set it up so that he could stream. And 希望とか考えは何でしたか？その目的。
目的としては、まあ、どこのチームにもサポーターっていうのが多分いると思うんだけど、そのサポーターっていうものが何をしてるのか多分みんな分かってないと思ってて、で、それのサポーターってものが実際どういうことをして、チームにどう関わってるのかが、まあ、見れたら面白いかなっていうのは考えてます。
So in terms of like what the hope or like the idea was for behind doing it, was he felt like most like world racing teams are going to have like a ninth or somebody who's kind of supporting the team from the inside. But most people don't actually see that activity or like what's happening behind the scenes. And so he was hoping that he could kind of like show that a little bit and help people understand like what he's actually doing and how he's supporting the team from the sideline. So that was kind of the goal behind doing that.
I mean, a lot of people are kind of nervous being on stream and people seeing them. Was he not nervous at all about being on stream?
配信するとき、まあ、たくさんの人たちは、ちょっと緊張していてけど、ホワイトボードマンは緊張してたか？
いや、緊張は正直してないです。まあ、配信しようみたいな何かを世の中に提供しようっていう意識よりかは、僕が普段してることを垂れ流すだけだったんで、特に配信とかは意識せずにやってたんで、何も緊張してなかったですね。
So he was not nervous at all. He was just hoping that he would be able to offer something interesting for people to see.
So kind of natural, like a famous person who's not afraid to be in the spotlight.
本当に、有名人みたいな、スポットライトが、全然問題ないということです。
Was the setup of the computers, the desk, everything around him, was that a normal thing, or was that like, is that what he normally uses, or was it some things maybe added for fun?
その配信した、デスクの、 設定は普段と同じですか？別の、レースのために、例えばそのホワイトボードとか、設定しましたか？
ホワイトボードはレースのために、書けるものを持ってきて、設置はしましたが、メインのパソコンの環境は普段自分がゲームしてる環境のままで、ちょっと横にあるモニターはちょっと仕事する環境から持ってきて、増設したって感じなんで、ほとんどゲームしてる環境がこれですね。普段ゲームしてる環境が。
So he's saying that the whiteboard was specifically for the world race, but otherwise everything else that you see, which is currently on the screen at the moment, is just like his normal setup for how he plays games and also for work.
Plays games?
So yeah, like that's
3
normally how he's
screens and another
games.
computer? You play games?
I'm not gonna lie, mine doesn't look that different.
Really?
So, yes.
Oh man. Okay. That's so much. Okay. Was he worried because there was Discord? There's a lot of other programs up there. Was there any concern that something was going to show up there that you don't want to have show up there?
Okay. たくさん画面があるので、もちろん、ディスコードも、見えるから、レース中、ちょっと、見ない方がいい、ことが出てくるのは心配しましたか？
そうですね。モグトークの配信を見ているところを見られてたっていうのは、まさにそこだと思うんですけど。特にレース中はそこまで自分のその個人的なこととかはしないんで、特に見られて困ることはないかなって思ってました。
そうですね。レースに集中中だ。はい。So like he kind of was saying first that of course, you could see Mog Talk on there, which is funny.
Yeah.
But like in terms of personal stuff or like anything else that it would be better not to show, like he wasn't really worried about that because like during the race he's like solely focused on the race, so he's not doing anything. Like that's all his attention is going
towards. Okay. And the stuff, Discord, none of his friends are gonna put anything in there that is bad.
ディスコードの友達が、何か、プライベートメッセージの、画面で何か悪いことしないかと。
やろうと思ったらできるから。
やろうと思ったらできたとは思い、そうですね。可能性はあったと思いますけど、配信画面に一応、配信画面を確認したら一応ディスコードの中の文章までは読めないから大丈夫かなっていうそういう感じでしたね。
So he's saying like that would have been possible, he guesses, but like during the race he wasn't really reading Discord anyway, so like I don't think that would have been an issue because of that.
Okay.
He wasn't reading any messages.
I have to make sure he knows, and I'm pretty sure he does, but the party popper was an extreme highlight for the entire race, just to see a little pop at the very end. It was perfect, and I hope, in future races he does stuff like that again, because it adds a lot of entertainment to the entire experience.
OK。じゃあ、日本語なんていうのはちょっとわかんないけど、その、セレブレーションのためのパーティーポッパー。クラッカー。はい。レース、にとって本当に、全員が喜んで、その、レースの雰囲気とか、気持ち、のために本当にいいことでしたから、フロスティさんの希望は、今度も、同じような、クラッカーを使えば、嬉しい。
ビジョンさん次回もよろしく。
そうですね。まあ、クラッカー5個入りだったんで、あと4つあるんで、あと4回は行きますね。
So he still has 4 more crackers or the pop party poppers. So
You should have done one every fight.
全フロアで使えばよかったのに。
なるほどね。
1個ずつね。
1個ずつ。
Or next time, you know, maybe have like a net above him full of balloons, and then pull a string and lets all the balloons down.
もう一つのアイディアとして、今度、ホワイトボード面の上に、ネットがあって、ちょっと、コードを、使って、バルーンが、下に来るとか。
I have a lot of ideas. I can talk to you about them.
フロスティは、たくさん、セレブレーションのためのアイディア、ありますから。
くす玉いいな、くす玉。
困ったら、
くす玉って言われてる。
くす玉ですか。まあ、
用意してもらって。
まあ、みんながワールドファーストをちゃんと取ってくれるのであれば、くす玉用意しましょうか。
He said, like, for the future world races, if we get world first, he'll prepare some more.
Ultimate.
Yeah, Zetsu.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with streaming and everything else, I think they did a wonderful job. I don't know if there's anything else they wanted to talk about their experience with streaming it and how they feel in the end after doing this and being the first team to clear Savage stream. If they have any other comments about their experience with it.
はい、じゃあ、まあ、ワールドファースト配信、のチームについて何か、他の意見とか考え、がありますか？言いたいことがありますか？
難しいな。
うん、そうね。まあ、なかったら全然。
いろんなレース固定もっと出てきてほしいとか、プレイする人が増えたらいいなって感じ。
日本多かったよね、今回、多分。
今回新しいチームがね、結構増えたりしたり。
俺的には、今回新しい日本のチームが結構増えてたんだけど、自分たちがその2年前に復活した時、まあ、絶オメガと天国編の時はランキングに入らないぐらいボロボロで終わっちゃったからレースが。で、多分今回新しくやったチーム、作ったチームもあんまいい結果にはなんなかったと思うんだけど、まあ、多分そこでね、諦めたりなんか、しんどいなと思ってやめちゃう人結構多いと思うんだけど、まあ、続けてれば多分いい結果多分残ってくると思うから、続けてほしいなっていう気持ちはありますね。
Okay, so for like their kind of final thoughts on it, they really want there to be more people in the world race. This time in Japan, there were a lot more new teams that were coming into the world race, especially compared to like 2 years ago when they won. And they want to see that kind of trend continuing and see it continue to grow. And they're a little bit worried that since it was a bit tough this time, that maybe people will give up. But like Yuya in particular feels like if people continue to work towards it and continue to try and challenge the world race, then they'll continue to get better and be able to be a part of it. So he's just basically hoping that people will continue to challenge and try to be members of the world race.
And I guess I can add a statement to that too, is that one of the beautiful things about the Final Fantasy XIV world races and everything else is that you just need 7 other people who want to try to do it. and gear is not. There's some other games will have lots and lots of hurdles to it, time wise and everything else. But especially with Savage, you need just one day and your friends to be with you. And you can get most of what you need to be able to compete in Savage. The entry to getting into it is pretty low. It's just learning to become like a really good player and a really good team. And I think that's possible for almost anyone.
フロスティさんはもちろん、同じ意見があって、また、他のゲーム、例えば、ワールド・オブ・ウォークとか、
はい。
に比べたら、その、壁、レースに入れる壁がちょっと
はい。
低いか
は
ら、誰でも参加できる。他の7人がいれば、一緒に、参加できるから、そこもいいこと。
うんうんうん。ワウは、あれよね。参加する壁が高いもんね。ワールドレースに。うん。
そうですね。
うん。
So he's saying like being able to participate though in the world race is still high. Like of course I'll just infer a little bit. Like
Sure.
of course you can, raid, but like actually being able to like be a participant in the world race itself is
Yeah. But it's all knowledge. It's not like a lot of other barriers like time. I mean, I guess you could say experienced is time in some way, but like if you learn and you improve and get better at the game, then you could be in there. You don't need to take like 2 weeks off to be able to raid. You don't need to do a lot of things that you wouldn't have access to if you weren't in a privileged state to be able to do it, if that makes any sense.
そう、フロスティの考えはもちろん、本物に、参加するのは難しいけど、他のゲームと比べたら、知識と、意思と経験が一番重要。だけど、例えば、World of Warcraft のは、2週
Oh,
間
you
と
said
か、
World of
休
Warcraft.
まなくて。Yeah.
It's okay. It's good.
I said it before too, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a good example.
It is. Yeah.
2週間とか休まなきゃいけない。
はい
けど、ファイナルファンタジーは、そんな壁が全然ない。
はい。
とか。
参加しやすいから。
そう。
Roro, be positive.
ロロミオ、ポジティブな、考え。お願いします。
Okay. We're getting closer to the end, and I have a couple of questions that I definitely want to make sure I ask. Lucrezia as a team in general has grown so much over the years, and they've just always seemed to be stronger and stronger and stronger. What's the number one thing they would contribute that to?
ルクレジアは、チームとして、何年も、かけて、大きく成長してきて、いつも、さらに強くなり続けているように見えます。それは、一番の要因、だと考えているのは何ですか？
難しいね。
そうね。難しい質問。
難しい質問だよね。リーダーどう思う？
まあでも続けることかな。長く続け、絶対一回、もうメンバーにはよく言ってるけど、一回じゃ絶対にいい結果は出ないから、もう長く続けて、ワンシーズンとか、拡張を通して、ワールドファーストを狙う練習をしようねっていうことはいつも言ってるから、 まあそこかな。長く続けることが一番大事なのかなって思いますね。あとはまあ本当に気持ち次第。熱量があればいくらでもやれるんじゃないかなって思いますね。
ファッション。
ファッション。
いいですね。Okay, so first part is just that they've been doing it for so long. Like they every expansion they continue on. They keep working at it, and they're always looking to challenge for world first. So like they keep that like goal in their mind. The second thing is that the team is very passionate and they really love just continuing to like push for it and are fighting constantly for this. So like they never lose their passion and their feeling for it.
Okay. It's a good answer.
Yeah. いい答えです。
Yeah. Okay. Well, as Lucrezia now, world first, winner and everything else, when you're talking about as an organization, what's like the next levels you're hoping for Lucrezia? Where are you wanting to take Lucrezia next?
これからルクレジアはまあ次のステップとして何の予定がありますか？
まあ絶ワールドファーストやっぱ。
そうですね。Ultimate World First.
Okay. Yeah. What if after Ultimate World First? What else? What's after that?
絶の後どうなる？次は？
次。まあでも多分みんなレースが好きで続けてるから別にそこで終わりじゃなくて、みんな続ける人は続けると思うし、まあ俺自身は単純にレース見てるのが好きだから、このままこういう環境もっと盛り上がればいいなと思って続けるし、まあ、あと、今回ちょっとダメだったけど、オフラインで開催する予定もあったから、次そういうのができたら面白いなと思って、また企画したいと思ってます。
Yeah, so for Yuya, of course, like they'll continue to challenge for world first in other races. Like people that want to continue will continue doing that. And yeah, of course, like Yuya himself really loves the race and wants to continue participating in it. And then Lucrezia as an organization, they want to actually start creating offline events where like it's not just all online, but they would actually gather together. I think similarly to how Echo does it, where they would have space to come together and race in the same room. So that's I think another big step for them. 誘ってください。
Well, I guess are they going to do 48 man?
48人レースしますか？
プレセンタイル。
やりたい。
はい。They want to. Yeah.
Okay. Do they have 48 players?
48人いますか？
いない。
集める。
私、行く？誘ってください。They currently don't have 48 people, but I said that I would like to be invited.
Oh yeah. Do they know about your deep dungeon activities of being like an amazing player in general and everything else?
I think some of them have actually watched me play Deep Dungeon.
Okay.
私の Deep Dungeon のことについて分かってますか？ちょっと分かんないけど。チラの。
Very good player.
見たことあります。
Yeah, they've seen me, yeah.
Okay.
フロスティさんはチラがいいプレイヤーと言われました。翻訳はちょっと恥ずかしいけど。
なるほどね。
I just said that you said I was a good player, but it's a little embarrassing for me to translate it.
Yeah, no, Chiela is so amazing, most wonderful person I've ever met. Absolutely fantastic. Please translate that for me.
Oh my god. フラスティさんのチームが本当に素晴らしいと問いかけた。恥ずかしい。
Okay. As we're kind of getting closer, yeah, of course. Again, it means a lot to have you here, of course.
I'm glad to do it.
Yeah. I want to ask, there's a couple of things I was going to ask, but I think I'll limit it to just one question I think is very important, just to make sure there's enough room for at least that question. Maybe we'll go back to others if we have more room for it, but I want to know if the players at all have anything, if Square Enix was listening, and is there anything they would want to say to Square Enix?
もし、スクエア・エネックス、が、まあ、この、インタビュー、聞いたら、直接に、伝えたいことがありますか？
公式にね。
Raid dates.
まあ、そろそろ。
面白かった。
うん。いや、
くずき面白かったです。
そろそろこんぐらしてもええんちゃうか。
So they want to make the race official. That was the first thing.
Okay.
Is making the race actually official rather than the unofficial status that it is.
Hire me, Square Enix. I'll help. I will. Anything else?
スクエア・エニックスで働きたい。他のはありますか？すいません、前に言った。
いや、くだきゅう面白かったです。ありがとうございますっていうことを伝えたいですね。
Okay. No, nothing else for this question. 多分他の質問があるんだけど。
Okay. I'd like to say, Square Enix, please give us a little bit more time on the raid dates and times. And just give us a little bit more heads up, if it's possible, so we could prepare for events and things a little bit earlier.
フロスティさんのお願いは、もうちょっと、まあ、レースが、開始する、タイミングについてもうちょっと早く、知りたい。
はい。そうですね。それは本当にそう。
そう、全員、そう思う。
そうですね。
Yeah. Okay.
They all agree, yeah.
Good.
They also would very much like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I guess I'll just ask this last one before we do any wrap up too. Just a straight general question. Do they have any final thoughts about the races or experiences or anything that we didn't talk about on this show but maybe is bubbling in their head that they'd like to say before we get off air? Anything they would want to say to NA audiences, EU audiences that they don't usually have that bridge there to say anything if they want to take advantage of that and say something?
Okay. そうですね。最後に、まあ、レースと、これまでの経験について、最後に何か、感想ありますか？また、もちろん、まあ、アメリカやヨーロッパの、皆さんに伝えたいこととかありましたら、ぜひ。
これはリーダーが言った方がいいんじゃないか？
He said it's better for the leader to answer.
He's tired.
難しいな。なんかない他に。
いや、もうこれからも頑張ります系のやついいんじゃないのか。
そうですね。
そう。まあこれからも配信し続けるし、まあ外部ツールとかに頼らずに頑張っていくと思うんで、まあ海外の人たちもまあ 透明性を保ったやっぱルールに従ったレースに参加して一緒に盛り上げていってほしいなって思いますね。
Okay. Yeah, so Yuya basically says that from here on, they're going to continue to do their best in the raids. They'll continue to stream and not use any third-party tools to win the races. And he's also hoping that more people will participate and continue to kind of bring the energy and excitement, and that he's hoping everyone who participates in the future will also follow the rules set for the world race by the racing community that Frosty. So
yeah, I think the guidelines that we created seem to work out pretty well, and everybody seems happy. I am going to do a post meeting with everybody probably sometime in the next week or two to kind of discuss how they felt this went, and if they want to, of course, be there to listen and say anything, they're more than invited. I don't have a time for that yet, but I will. But yeah, I'd like to bring everybody together again and have another meeting with all the racers.
フロスティさんは、今回、そのガイドラインは、本当にいい結果ができましたから、まあ、いつか、もう一回、その、レーサーたち、集めて、その、まあ、ちょっと、繰り返して、まあ、今回、どんな形になったのか、ちょっと繰り返して、まあ、そのミーティングはいつのかまだ決めてないけど、ぜひ、ルクレイジアさん、一緒に、
呼ばれれば、ね。
できれば。
参加するよな。
And they said they'll attend.
Okay. That's good. All right. Well, I guess that's pretty good for this show. This has been a lot of fun. It meant a lot, of course, that they came on they just cleared it with 24 hours ago. I appreciate their attendance coming over here and talking about their experiences and everything, and sharing it with the community. It really does mean a lot. They gave me a little bit of their time today.
まあ、これからちょっと終了だけど、本当にクリアしたばかりなのに、モグトークに参加してくれて、本当にありがとうございました。すごい感謝しています。
いや、ね、こちらも参加させてくださってありがとうございますという。
ありがとうございます。
They're all saying thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
Get that graphic off the screen, Jet. We're not done. What are you doing?
I was like, suddenly, crazy graphic.
We'll come. Yeah, it's fine. It's all right. Anyways, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit to the channel here, and then I'll say one more thing for everybody to say bye after I'm done saying my stuff to everybody here. But just tell them to hold on for just a second here.
Okay. これから、フロスティさんは、配信の参加者に、ちょっと言いたいことがありますから、でも、まあ、そこまで、ちょっと、まあ、このインタビューが終わったから、もうちょっと少々お待ちください。
はいはい
はい。
OK.
All right. So, thank you, Chiela. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching this show. This meant a lot to me, and being able to do this when we talk about the world race and we talk about everything that we really do here, it really means a lot to me that we're including the global audience, and so it's a huge deal for me to be able to talk to the teams they win. And it's without Chiela here, I would never have this opportunity to be able to connect us all together in these kind of conversations. So again, thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, no problem. I'm really glad to be able to help with this. I think one of my big goals is just connecting the Japanese and English-speaking community.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful to be part of it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, of course. Everybody watching this that's curious about just Mog Talk in general on this channel and everything else, the plans, of course, is to go forward with the next World Race. I loved how we did this with a lot of community filling here, and you know, we brought a lot of people over. We were able to raise a lot of money for charity, and it meant a ton that you guys all were here to be a part of it. I don't know. Our next show will hopefully be next month. Of course, we're very busy here doing a lot of other things, but I don't think that I'm going anywhere anytime soon, and I expect to have many races coming up forward. And with all that being said, we're going to do our byes, but I'm going to say one more thing to the team so they could all be synchronized here. Can you let them know I'm going to say bye and everything? I want them all to say bye at the same time too.
OK、じゃあ、みんな、一緒に、同時に、bye 言ってください。
Okay. All right. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.